Hey, it's your boy again, coming back with another video. KQKC Boxing Channel is back again. Yes, I promised all my subscribers I would not talk about Eddie Hearns or Anthony Joshua. But when it's breaking news, it's always breaking news. So, guess what? We all know how Anthony Joshua was kind of pissed off at Eddie Hearns for messing up the Wilder deal. But me personally, and shout out to my boy Dante Boxing Nation, we both believe, I think Joshua messed that fight up because he really believed that he wasn't ready for Deontay Wilder. And for someone that fought a lot of bombs, a lot of people are sure scared of him. And I'm not going to say bombs, because anybody step in the ring, I respect. Anybody step in that square circle is risking their lives with a one-punch knockout artist like Deontay Wilder. So, the breaking news what I'm talking about is he had reserved Wimbledon Stadium for a 2-fight deal with Anthony Joshua without any opponent named. But I can take a guess. One will be Povetkin. Yes. But that's going to be very hard to do. Why? Because they lost the purse bid. So that means he has to go to Russia. That's right, to Russia. When you lose a purse bid, you get everything that comes with it, baby. Hometown advantage and everything. So, is Eddie Hearns trying to make up with Anthony Joshua? Because he still haven't signed that extension on his contract. But if he was smart, he'll get away from Eddie Hearns, because we know what type of person he is. He's the 2000 Don King. Put it that way. Sure, Anthony Joshua can pack in maybe 100,000 Wimbledon Stadium holds in the UK. But how much money of that he will see? Sure, he's making $15 million per fight, and Deontay Wilder making the highest paid was what, $2 million with the Ortiz fight. Why? Because boxing is #1 in the UK. That's why. And I'm not going to keep going over this with the UK people. The American people, they understand, yes, we are at the end of the totem pole. We have the NBA. We have the NFL. We have the MLB, the Major League Baseball. We even got hockey. So boxing falls last in line. Boxing falls last in line. Over in the UK, they have boxing, cricket. They even have football, they call it. But we call it soccer. So, of course, a country that's smaller than one of our states here going to show up to see a match. And he's under investigation, Eddie Hearns. Frank Warren explained it all. For ticket scalping. Yes. How can you sell those many tickets in 3 seconds? I'm exaggerating, but we all know what Eddie Hearns been doing. We all see the media tour he's on trying to cover up his lies. He had got caught in at least 2, I know, by Shirley Finkel and by Steven Espinosa, Showtime sports director, who partnered up with PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, who is owned by Al Heyman, who he is a manager slash advisor slash promoter for all the UK people that don't understand that. Yes, Al Heyman is a promoter. He had promoted many fights on FS1 and Bounce and even on NBC. NBC was the first network in America that started free boxing. So, with this little 2-fight deal, with nothing else announced, no purse bids, not how much money he's going to get, not even an opponent. But guess what? That's Eddie Hearns' way. Just like the Deontay Wilder. He said he haven't signed the contract yet. Well, that's baloney. I wouldn't sign it either. If you're going to stick the last minute bullshit in it. Right. Bullshit in it. For you UK fans that's listening, don't trust Eddie Hearns. I'm telling you. Sure, he sent the contract over. That much is true. But 10% is true, 90% is bullshit. He's going to change everything. Then you're going to send a contract over without your signature? First, you have to have an agreement in order to draw up a contract. Do you all understand the business side of boxing? Because it got to make sense, right? You got to make sense and make dollars to make a fight. We all know that. Well, at least boxing fans and casual boxing fans know that. But if you riding Matchroom / Eddie Hearns and his daddy, Barry Hearns, coattail, you're not going to believe anything but he's the second king of the British monarchy. So, what Parliament going to do with Matchroom, we don't know. Right now, we haven't heard anything about the investigations. And we also ain't heard from the WBA yet. Where I hear, now, KQKC is not going to definitely say it's true, but I will tell you this, the rumor mill said it is, that Eddie Hearns, the WBA, and the Prevekin promoters are in collusion with each other. Everybody greasing everybody's pockets. Everybody want a piece of the pie. But guess what? Anthony Joshua's not getting a piece of the pie. That's right. He's not getting a piece of the pie. That's why he pissed off at Hearns. And also, Hearns did an interview with Fight Hype. Shout out to Fight Hype. Eddie Hearns told Fight Hype that actually Anthony Joshua messed up the fight. Why? For asking for the $50 million. Now, why would you ask a man who has 3 men looking out his career? One, Lou DiBella, been in the business for a long time, has money. Shelley Finkel, been around since the Muhammad Ali days. And billionaire Al Heyman. And you gonna ask for $50 million thinking Deontay ain't gonna come up with it? Please. He came up with it within 24 hours or less. Then all of a sudden, you change your mind. You rather have it in the UK. Okay, Deontay Wilder said, okay. After a little stalling, I have to admit. But he said, okay, I'll give it to every demand you want. Let's get it on. Then, guess what? Your coward, your hero in the UK said, well, I don't think I'm ready for Deontay Wilder. You mean to tell me he's not ready for Deontay Wilder? The one that knocked out 39 bombs and 40-0? That you don't believe he can beat you? But you're not ready for him, right? Bullshit. It all was just just bullshit to make the public happy and say that y'all negotiate, which you never was. That's why Shirley Finkel did not show up for that meeting with Eddie Hearns. Because, like Barry Hearns said, all we did was just shooting the breeze. Well, people don't have time to shoot the breeze. Lawyers, they bill by the hour. Okay? Advisors, you don't do things like that. You don't just come over to another country and shoot the breeze. Then on top of that, you say nobody know who Anthony Joshua, who Deontay Wilder is. Well, nobody know who Anthony Joshua is over here. He had to fly in secretly, he thought, but he got seen at the LAX airport. Then he tried to make his American rounds here and there, and people still didn't know who he was. They was calling him Anthony Johnson. And you know what? He's still a coward, and he started laughing. He didn't even correct him. He should have said, no, my name is Anthony Joshua. I'm undisputed heavyweight champion in the UK. But guess what? He didn't do that. So people in America don't know who the hell Anthony Joshua is. So that's why he don't want to fight in America. Do he think he's going to get robbed? No. How you get robbed when you laying down on your back? That's right. Laying down on your back. So once he saw that Ortiz fight, his mind changed so damn quick. Because he saw how Deontay Wilder took 5 blows to the head, flush, and did not fall. Then came back the next round and knocked him out cold and won the fight. But when Joshua fought Klitschko hit him with a right, and Anthony Joshua fell down head first, ass up. So you tell me, who's the coward? You tell me. Then, let's move right along. All of a sudden, the WBA, they had some things to say. Okay, we're going to give you 24 hours to make this fight, or we're going to strip you. Okay, they can't make the fight. No more financial haggling. But guess what? That was June 26th. Today is what? July the 6th? And they haven't stripped them yet. They haven't made the fight yet. So, you tell me what's going on. One media station burst them out real good. Now, is the WBA getting crooked now? I don't know. But like I try to tell everybody, Anthony Joshua do have 3 belts. Yes, 2 belts he didn't earn. Why? Because Charles Martin, the heavyweight that won the IBF, off another heavyweight, because he twisted his ankle in the ring. He didn't knock him out. He didn't even touch him. And he won the fight by default. That's right, by default. So therefore, Anthony Joshua, he knew it was an easy fight because Charles Martin is more like an A-B fighter. So the A fighter, which is Anthony Johnson, Anthony Joshua. So they fought over in the UK because, of course, they won the purse bid. And guess what? He got hit with one of the right hands, and Charles Martin looked up like, what the hell was that? And next thing you know, he won that belt. So, a belt that he didn't deserve. Why? Because Charles Martin didn't deserve it. You understand what I'm saying? Charles Martin got the belt on default. He's nowhere near Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua snatched it from him, which he shouldn't deserve it. He should have fought somebody that was up to the status of him. But he didn't do that. Then he turned around and fight Parker, a much smaller man. All Parker had to do was stay off the ropes, move, and take Anthony Joshua and his muscles into the 7th round, maybe 8th, and watch the fatigue set in. Because Anthony Joshua does not have enough wind. Why? Because he drank too many protein shakes and he lifts too many weights. All that muscle mass is too heavy when you're going 12 rounds, 3 minutes a round, and you pushing, jockeying for position, and you're getting hit. So, but Parker had a different mindset. He wanted to show the world that he can slug, but he could not slug with him. He's too big. So Anthony Joshua didn't deserve that belt either. Now, I will give him the last belt. And that's the only belt I think he deserved. But, like everybody said, even his own countryman, Lennox Lewis. We all remember Lennox Lewis. He the one that knocked out Holyfield, if I'm not mistaken. But he was a great heavyweight in the 80s and in the 90s. But I agree with him. First of all, Deontay Wilder should get 40% and Anthony Joshua gets 60%. That's a fair split. But they don't want to do that. But like Lennox Lewis said, make the fight. What is Anthony Joshua scared of? I know what he's scared of. He saw the Ortiz fight, and you know what he did? He called Eddie Hearns and said, wait a minute. Eddie. That's right, Eddie. You see that? He got rocked and he didn't fall or nothing. He didn't cover up or nothing. He took them shots flush from the so-called boogeyman of the heavyweight division, Luis Ortiz. Well, Deontay Wilder like, okay, that ain't no big deal. He went and sat down, cleared the cobwebs out his head, and came back the next round, worked that telephone pole jab, and knocked Ortiz out. And that's when Anthony Joshua started dialing the phone. Eddie, I don't think I'm ready for a Wilder. You know why? Because he can't punch. When you have that many muscles and your reach is shorter than Deontay. Sure, Deontay is a little wild. Why? Because he's inexperienced. He never had an amateur career. Everybody he fought, even the bombs, had amateur careers. At least 50 fights or more as amateurs. Sure, Deontay went to the Olympics. He won a bronze medal. But that was on a whim. He didn't start boxing until he was 20 years old. And why? Because his daughter was born with spina bifida. It's a bone type of cancer. And he needed money for health insurance. So he started boxing after he couldn't make the Alabama football team. Now, the right hand is deadly. So he beat the so-called boogeyman. So only one left is who? Your coward over in the UK, Anthony Joshua. That's who's left. Okay? So, with that said, I wonder who he's going to fight. But I guarantee you this. Eddie Hearns been pushing the zone so much. The zone app I'm sorry, but a lot of Americans just won't give him a dime. Not how he played America. He tried to play America. Because I told you, my motto means what? Real, recognize real. Okay? And America knows when they getting played. He got caught in at least 3 lies. And that was made public. Do your research on Eddie Hearns and the Hearns family. Eddie Hearns don't have that much money like everybody think. That $1 billion app called The Zone, he did not put up any money for that. That's why he's shaking in his boots, because he can't get a name grade A fighter from the United States. You know what's going to happen? He's going to have mostly UK fighters on there. And sure, he might have some American fighters. I'm not going to lie. But they're going to be C fighters, B fighters. He won't have the elite type fighters on there. Like Earl Spence. Like Jamal Charlo. Adrian Broner. I hear Keith Thurman looking, but I doubt it. Keith Thurman too, because guess who his advisor is? Al Heyman. So don't never forget this. Al Heyman can be everybody's advisor if he wanted to. You can go to another promoter, but Al Heyman is still your advisor. So what that means? He still get a piece of you. Always remember that. Advisor trumps promoter when it comes to boxing. KQ, KC, gonna keep it real all day long. Now, if you like what you hear, man, hit that subscribe button. If you want to hear some more of this, man, hit that notification button. Man, if you enjoy what I was talking about, and I got some more for you, man, hit that like button, pound it on your way out. And don't forget, on Saturday, I will have the blast from the past. That's right, I will have the boxers before you was born. I will be doing autobiographies for the next at least 3 or 4 Saturdays. And maybe longer, who knows? It depends on what type of response I will get from the videos. This is KQ, KC Boxing Channel, and I will see you on the next one.